So here we are at assignment number 6, the final in your set of assignments. Now, um, I can't even remember what the assignment is called on the syllabus, but what I've changed it to is creating this assignment that is a purely creative endeavor for you. And the idea is you are creating a movie poster or what is called a one sheeter in the business. And to do that, I did this photo shoot of a friend of mine. This is Jamie Pillow. Jamie is set designer, costume designer on commercials and some movies. She does mostly set design, but at times has also done costume design. And the reason I chose Jamie for this idea is because she's got these cool, interesting costumes that she's done some work with. Um, and also, she's a pretty interesting looking woman. A mix of Native American and Caucasian. Jamie and I met in art school over 30 years ago um, when she was modeling for a friend of mine. She was just standing there um, naked with this jackhammer in her hand on set. I walked into my friend's studio and there was this naked woman standing with a jackhammer. And she said hi to me in this really, friendly voice. And we started talking. And then it dawned on me I was talking to a naked person with a jackhammer. And I said, "Hey, does this moment feel as strange to you as it does to me?" And she was like, "No, no." And so we've been friends ever since. And I've photographed Jamie a bunch of times um, throughout our friendship. And a while back, she sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm going to be 50 this year. And to celebrate, I want to be photographed in this odd little Catwoman costume I found." And so I thought, I should use this for the final assignment. And so I did two different photo shoots of her, one early in the semester and one later in the semester, and combined them to show you just different ideas of how I went about doing this thing. So I shot from like this is high noon in front of just a white wall. And for this, I just wanted, the Catwoman character just looking around like she's about to go after something. I wasn't sure what the heck she was doing, but I just wanted something that looked iconic. And then I shot um, in this garage. I shot all this stuff in downtown LA. Shot this in a garage, you know, at like high noon or something like that. And just shot a bunch of different things in that garage space. This is some of the garage stuff where I just wanted the character posed against a wall. Um, and then stuff like this where I did, close ups on the character. And all of these are done with available light, with the just finding interesting looking light and working with it. Then, of course, I shot some stuff in some alleyways um, during the daytime, alleyways during the later afternoon. This is earlier in the summer, and so the sun is really low in the sky and it's doing this really warm thing. This is around the same area, but earlier in the afternoon, and just exposing for the light that's under this shed. Um, Same thing. This is in the same space, and then this is later in the evening where I'm just using a flash to blast some light at the subject up against this wall. And then this is in the evening. We're just finding available light from overhead and, trying to create an interesting image with it. And then, this is again earlier in the evening, and I'm working with the sun's just dropped below the horizon, so I'm working with that night sky, um, and just working out these different ideas. Uh, Again, available light, more available light, more available light, just bright lights, and looking at there was a black wall, and I just overexposed for the light and let the wall go darker. Same thing here, just really playing with the idea of the night light. And then I used, on some of these, I used what's called a tilt shift lens. And tilt shift lenses are made for mainly using in architectural kind of scenarios where you use the lens to correct, when a building is telescoping. Telescoping is when the building, as you stand back and look at it, the building goes to a point. Now, in reality, buildings aren't going to a point unless they're designed that way. But because of, how a lens works, or how it looks visually when you're standing on the ground and looking up at a tall building, the building comes to a point. Well, a tilt shift lens allows you to correct for that building coming to said point. And so I use it sometimes when I create portraits to distort part of the figure or half of the figure, or something in the figure. And since in this situation I'm working on a more conceptual idea of what a portrait is, because if you're creating a movie poster, you're trying to create a certain kind of ambience, a certain kind of atmosphere. You're not always going for a literal portrait. And then when I do go for a literal portrait like this, again, I'm just using the available light in the space. So off to the left, there's a really bright light. This is by a restaurant downtown, it's like a little taco stand. It's got about 6 to 8 seats outside. And then it's got these richly painted walls. So one wall is yellow. This is kind of a burgundy thing, but it photographs and looks a bit brown. And then on this side, it's just the night light, the building back here, street lights, a light car, and I'm shooting really tight on the subject, and I create this interesting looking image. And then this is late in the afternoon, and again, I'm shooting some film that gives me this kind of desaturated, where the color, this outfit is black, but because of the saturation, it looks like it's a little greenish, bluish in this image. And so, using all these different ideas, I come up with a bunch of ways to think about this. This is, like I said, a movie poster. So come up with 3 examples. You're turning in 3 examples of what a movie poster would look like to you. So name the movie. It could be something that's currently out, something that you've seen in the past, the remaking of a poster of your favorite movie, or just something you completely come up with. For mine, it's Catwoman as she hits 50 and dealing with all of the issues that would come along with being a 50-year-old Catwoman, whatever the hell those are. So, that is your assignment. Is due on the 17th of December. It's the last assignment. I would like you to photograph someone for the assignment that you haven't used before. If you decide, because of the craziness of COVID, that you can photograph yourself if you can't come up with someone in the family or somebody close enough to create something interesting with. Maybe you could photograph yourself, but this is the idea. It's purely creative. You get to choose the light you use, you get to choose costumes, you get to say what is what and create 3 examples of a movie poster. They can be vertical, they can be horizontal, okay? Or any combination, but 3 images. Due on the 17th. That is the assignment. Send me a statement of what you're going to do and do it. All right. Also, again, if you need time longer than the 17th to finish this, I can give you a few more days. But you got to let me know what's going on and, when do you think you'll need up to. Okay? That is it for the assignment. Thank you. Arrivederci.